I'm here today with Ruth and with Carrie, who, in a manner of speaking, have recently become new parents. Could you explain, please, Ruth?
Sure. We're part of a group in this area, the Frontenac Wolf Island Refugee Support Group, about 15 of us who support a Syrian family, and they've arrived.
So there's all sorts of things you can do with your time, all sorts of causes and charities. What motivated involvement with Syrian refugees?
Well, for me, it was watching the pictures of the kids, the babies and kids being lined up at borders with very little food and no one to help and nowhere to go, and their lives having been put in absolute chaos for the weirdest of reasons. And no one, you feel like you can't help them all, you can't. But at least maybe we could help one family to come out of that chaos.
Where do you go from there? How do you actually turn that thought into an action that results ultimately, as you've just said, in the recent arrival of a family?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You have to find out who is responsible for that kind of thing, what kind of commitment you would be making, financially, time, all of those things. And in Canada we have three different, we didn't know this in the beginning, three different sorts of application. There are support groups who are strictly on their own, and then there's a blended with, and that's what we became, with some help with government.
Financial help.
Financial, and also we were told that if we blended, they would get here more quickly. That would be helpful. And then there's the third group is totally the government. They're looking after housing, education, all of whatever. But the blended group, we're responsible for a large part of that, and they'll help some.
So you did some investigation,
Yes.
and you determined that you had to know a little bit about what kind of time commitment you
That's
were looking
right.
at and how much money it was going to
Yes.
cost. And what did you learn?
Well, we learned that the financial commitment is you're giving them what they would be getting if they were on welfare.
I see.
As a basic, that's the basic.
And how big is this family?
Well, at the moment, the ones that have arrived, there are 10, but they're 10. Yes.
10.
Originally we
So
thought
that's
there were
mommy
6.
and daddy and
8 children.
8 children.
Yes, from ages 6 to 24.
That's a lot of welfare.
Yes, and then the startup costs are extra.
I see.
That has nothing, that's outside of
The first month's
welfare
rent
cost.
sort of thing, or the rent deposit and
Yeah,
the
well,
table to have dinner at, and that's
no,
what, pots and
all of
pans,
that,
or-
yeah, the table we made and the new mattresses for the beds and furniture. People have been kind to donate, but there are things that they needed to have.
When you learned about the financial commitment, Carrie, what was the bottom line?
Well, the bottom line is we need a lot of support and a lot of visibility in our community to make sure that people understand who we are and what we're doing, and that this funding for this family is coming from private people who have, financial commitments of their own,
People
families
like the two of you.
Yeah.
who see that this is important and want to contribute. We're really looking for the help of, Kingstonians, Wolf Islanders, Frontenac, citizens to help us out, because the goal is to ensure that these people are sufficient, self-sufficient, able to, live their lives with dignity and hopefully contribute to the community and society.
What's the actual dollar and cents amount?
45,000.
45,000. So
That's our goal.
Are you guys on the hook for that then, or is that part of? Is there a commitment? Is there a?
Oh yes.
Okay, so that's a lot of
Yes.
money.
You have to come up with some very good ideas.
Yes, and so is there ongoing responsibilities after they're here?
Well, for a long time, they're going to need support. Just getting them into school. You can't just send them to school. You register them, and then you have to make sure that they're very familiar with where they're going, the lunch thing. They don't speak English. And yes, there will be help for them, but it's not right there all day, every day. And so that's there. That kind of commitment has to be there.
So in the average week, how much time do you spend on your responsibilities connected with this project?
Monday, it was all day because it was banking and social security numbers and health cards, and not everybody is going at the same time, and so there are several cars needed.
Wow.
Most days there are 2 or 3 cars taking people to various things to get them settled in, and they have to be tested for the position they will be in to learn the language. Mm-hmm. That's extra.
Well, how's their English?
None. Mohammed, the oldest boy, the oldest son, he's not a boy, he's 24, is learning very quickly. The youngster who's going into grade 7, he's just sucking it up. He's he's amazing. He's so anxious. He listens to every word that everybody says, and he repeats it, and he's going to be good. But then there's the level of some of them are shyer. It's a really very, very nice family. They're warm, they're outgoing, they're trying hard. You can tell that they're happy to be here, and they say that. Now, they would say that anyhow, but you can see that they're very happy to be here.
They came here recently. Did they come directly from Syria?
They came from, no, they were in Lebanon. From Lebanon to Toronto, and they had an overnight, and then they arrived here the next day.
How long were they in Lebanon?
5 years.
5 years, good
In
Lord.
a camp.
In a camp?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about their experiences there?
The father, I think, said that they'd been treated like animals, and here they were being treated like kings.
Oh.
So that was nice, but it was sad to hear.
So they've been here for just a little while, and your responsibilities to them.
Yes.
Are they contractual? Did you sign something?
Yes.
And how long are you going to be?
A year.
For a year into the future.
Yes. By that time, they will be settled. They will be working. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this. The dad he had a truck, of course. He was a farmer, and he drives, but he can't drive here because, of course, she has no license. But as soon as he knows what the signs are on the road, our written driver's license here in Ontario you can have it done in Arabic.
Wow.
Isn't that? I think that's amazing. That kind of thing just keeps coming up again and again. The cooperation of that was stunning for me. So as soon as he can read the street signs, he can drive. Once he can drive, that opens all kinds of opportunities for him.
Sure.
I would suggest that in a year, the relationship with the family is going to be different than it is today. Hopefully less dependent and more, I'm going to say, familial, because we will have lasting bonds with these people, based on our experience now. And that's the goal, really. That's one of the goals, is to establish that.
Do you have any plans to try and raise funds?
Well, we recently had a fundraiser that was very successful. Shout Sister Choir put on a concert, and we held a silent auction. We had a number of high-profile donors, which was very exciting. Rick Mercer Report and Toronto Maple Leafs, and a number of Canadian institutions that offered up things for a silent auction, and we did raise $4,000, approximately $4,000, which was very successful.
Not too shabby. That's great.
But $4,000 is a bit of a drop in the bucket based on what the rest of the expenses and the costs that we have. Mm-hmm. We're looking at establishing an online donation site in the near future. We have a Facebook page where people can go to look for more information. We are, currently looking for, offers of support, opportunities to fundraise. I mean, that's one of our primary goals right now. The Facebook page is regularly updated. We send out events when they're organized and ready to go. I find that this is a very important cause, and as a Canadian, I'm proud that I'm allowed to do this and I'm able to do this. I think that watching other people succeed is important, and it would be nice to watch multiple families succeed, and have the benefits, experience the benefits that we have living in this country.
We would be more experienced the next time.
Yes.
Well, I must say that I'm very thankful to both of you for doing the work that you're doing. I think it's a noble thing to do. And I thank you very much, both of you, for coming here to speak with me today about it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ruth.